Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Game Prodigy, and today we are talking about building the perfect soldier, and you do that through the perk system. For those of you unfamiliar with perks, every time your soldier levels up, he is given one of three possible perks to choose from, and depending on his level, from 1 to 5, that is the total amount of perks that he's going to be able to spend. So, how do you spend your perks? Well, to be really honest with you, for level 1, 2, and even 3 soldiers, it doesn't really make a difference. But when you get to level 4 and especially level 5, how you spend your perks is going to make a pretty significant impact on the outcome of your soldier. So let's take a look first at the speed category. Depending on the level of your soldier, the speed category is going to offer you some really big advantages for level 2 and level 3. And then when you get to the higher level for speed, you're seeing a 15% sprint speed as the highest level option. And I actually think that's one of the worst things you can get for your soldier. And I'll tell you why. 15% speed means that your soldier is going to be able to walk, sprint faster than the rest of your squad. And in a squad-based system, you're going to get away from your squad. So when that first guy dies, you're not going to be able to quickly switch over, have that guy anywhere near where your fast guy is, and be able to respond to that. You're going to see them get picked off. Overall, for 16 speed points, I think this skill is not worth it. For engineers, there's a special one at 14 speed. It is a 50% build speed. Again, I don't think this one's that valuable, and it eliminates some lower cost ones later on, because basically, how often are you unless you're an engineer who likes building castles, and if that's your thing, awesome. How often are you actually going to be building stuff, and is that time you're saving going to be worth wasting 14 of your speed points? Basically, eliminating any other speed point category option that costs any type of speed. And I think the answer is you're not going to be spending that much time building. So I don't think that one's good at all. The first actually good skill for 12 speed points is 20% weapon aim speed. And where I think that comes in really handy is for your assaulters or any situation where you think you're going to be close to the enemy, and that fraction of a time that you're going to be able to aim faster may be the difference between life and death. The other one I really like, and you can use this at lower levels because some lower level soldiers will have 8 speed points, is this 75% med pack usage speed. And I've got a great clip of me using this exactly as it was intended, and I tricked the guy and ended up killing him. We'll go take a look at that right now.
Control point Bravo is under our control.
Oh, he's gonna do the same thing to me. Except I'm ready! Yeah! Beyond that one, all of the other ones are actually pretty bad, with the exception of maybe the climb speed. And the climb speed basically lets you go through windows or things quickly, so that period of time where you can't shoot is going to be decreased. 10% run speed, not that great. Who cares if you can really jump high unless you like to parkour. The 60% movement speed while crawling or crouching encourages you to crawl or crouch. And really, there's limited situations where that's valuable. The 150% speed and changing pose is a great filler one. I really have no problems with it, but it's something you want to pick on your tier 5s once you've exhausted the speed, the vitality, and the weapons handling things. Moving on to the vitality-based skills. So the top tier vitality skill is plus 35% vitality. And with the average soldier having a vitality of 15, that can be fairly significant. What it means is where a normal headshot may kill you, it may only knock you down. And there have definitely been situations, especially with mortars chipping down at you and artillery chipping down at you, that this has kept me alive. Great skill. If you don't have 16 vitality, the next level down is the 80% aim stability with firearms after receiving damage. And the hang up a lot of people have on this is they think, well, I don't really receive damage, but if you ever watch your damage bar in the course of a game, you receive damage a lot from artillery, from walking over barbed wire, from, gunshots to the body, all sorts of things. And an 80% increase in your ability to shoot is a great use of 11 points of your vitality. For 9 points, the 40% resource building. Again, this is an engineer specific one. And unless you are a super builder or you really like to build 2 anti-tank guns or two, I don't even think you can build 2 so an anti-tank gun and a AA gun, which you really build for the situation. And the way that you can fix this is by having more than one engineer. So I really don't see a ton of value in this. It's a waste of points. One that's a big trick in my eyes is the 200% health restored by medpack. What that basically means is instead of 3, you get 6. And remember, the average soldier is 15, so that's really not a huge gain. The 100% stamina, I think, is great, especially in terms of running to points, be able to get there quickly. You're leaving your team behind in doing that a little bit, but not as much as using the speed. I don't like the health regeneration out of combat. Your soldiers die quickly, and you're not out of combat for very long. And I really just don't see a benefit to this one. If you have a different experience with it, please let me know in the comments. The one I really like, and the one that's fairly cheap for only 4 vitality, is the 50% effect of head shaking caused by nearby explosions. If you play this game long enough, you basically spend half of your time with that head shaking. And to eliminate that, or to half that for only 4 vitality, is a huge, huge bonus. If you can get this skill, get it. Another low-cost one that I like, if you use shift a lot, the 100% breath holding time, great skill, low cost. And then the last one, 100% stamina regeneration speed. It doesn't cost anything on your higher level units. If you've filled up on the top tier ones that you want and you just have some space, it's not a bad pick. It's not particularly great. Let's move on to the last category. The last category is going to be weapons handling, and for the longest time I thought it was strength, but apparently it's weapons handling, and the number one skill for that for 16 points is going to be a 30% reduction in your firearm horizontal recoil while standing. For 14 points, you get a 40% reduction in vertical recoil while standing. And I'm going to put up a little chart here. We're going to look at the M1 Garand. And if you notice, the vertical recoil is a much higher number than the horizontal recoil. So, in my opinion, reducing the vertical recoil, and if you played an assaulter with a machine gun, you've seen that rat-tat-tat-tat at going straight up. That seems to be a much bigger problem. So I would forego the horizontal recoil and try and get the vertical recoil. For 12 points, you can increase the firing rate of bolt action rifles. That's really only valuable for the Axis side, who has the car and a lot of bolt action firing rifles. Most, unless you put this on a sniper, most of your units are going to have semi-automatic or higher once they get to high level. So that's not a valuable skill. A valuable skill for your assaulters and your lower level troops is going to be the 12% firearm reload speed. That's a great one. One that I see people using a lot that I don't agree with is the 50% throwing range of grenades. And I'll tell you why. You don't know, unless you really plan your units out, you don't know who has this. And there's nothing worse than running up to a tank, having that grenade cooked, ready to throw it, and then watching it sail over a tank because that guy throws it 50% further. Having consistency and knowing where your grenades are going to go means that you can't throw them long. That's fine. As long as you know where they're going to go every time you throw, I think you ignore this skill entirely. A good low-level one that I think will come in handy for 4 points is 100% melee weapon damage. And if you've ever been stabbed by a knife, when you use your gun, it does about half that damage. If you use this skill, hitting them with the gun is the equivalent of stabbing them with a knife. For 4 points for a lower level soldier, it's great. And then one that I like for your AI for only 2 points is a 15% speed of decreasing the shot spread after quick turning of the firearm, 25% after quick turning of the firearm. So it's faster at turning, and you get a 25% spread after quick turning it. And for your AI, I don't know how many times I've been killed by, I've taken a shot, the AI is instantly turned and shot me. I think this makes it even faster. And then the last skill, the 50% firearm changing speed. For your gunners and your assaulters, there's really no reason to ever pick this. But for your bombers that are going to have to switch to the anti-tank guns, and for your engineers who switch to the hammer, this can be actually very effective. And so that's most of the perks. There are a special set of perks for the tankers and the planes that we're going to go take a look at right now. For tank drivers, there's 2 perks that are available exclusively for tank drivers. One of them costs 16 speed. It is only for your loader, so if you use the skill, you want to make sure that they're in the loader position on your tank, and it is to change the type of ammo type without losing reload progress. I wish I could tell you more about this. We've tested it out. It doesn't seem to do anything at the moment, but if you have more information on it, please let me know in the comments below. And then the last one, for 16 weapon handling, you improve the targeting skills of a tank gun. And I think this is the singular most important skill you need to get on your gunner, which is the first spot right here. Because the ability to quickly and accurately move your targeting on a tank is the difference between killing a soldier who's walking or a tank that's moving and not killing them, or hitting the tank in the specific sweet spot that you're trying to hit them in. In terms of pilots, their special skills are related to blacking out and their area that they can see. So for 14 speed, you have minus 100% the effect of head swinging during sharp maneuvers, which means you don't black out as much. For vitality, instead of vitality, you can do plus 30% the value of endured maximum negative overloads, plus 15% the value of maximum endured maximum positive overloads. And then increase your flight stamina, which basically is the threshold at which you start blacking out. And then lastly, for the weapon skill, you can add a 50% range of detection of enemy aircrafts. And I think this is a good skill. I get killed a lot by fighters and planes. If you're going to have a fighter or you're going to have a bomber, but particularly a fighter, you're going to want to be able to find these aircrafts, and you're going to want to be able to know if they're a friend or foe. You can do this visually by seeing the plane, but you can't always do it well and accurately, and it's actually quite hard to see enemy aircrafts. So what does a perfect soldier look like? Let's take a look at that right now. All right, right here I have Carl Kortz. He is a level 5 assaulter for the Axis side, and what I've gone with as an assaulter is I've done the vertical recoil because I think that's hugely important. I love this 75% med pack usage. To balance it out, the next available was the run speed. I also went for aim stability when I receive damage. So not only am I getting better vertical recoil if I take any damage, and remember, you take a little bits and pieces of damage a lot, this guy is going to be super effective at shooting. And just to make sure that it's just that little bit more effective, I've added the 100% breath holding time while aiming. So this guy is super deadly. He's a great assaulter. But again, the answer for the perfect soldier is it's up to you. What I would say is look at the available points and make sure that you're maximizing them and that you're getting the skills that you want before you choose a lower option. If it's a tier 5 soldier, it is okay to spend a little bit of your gold to re-roll points if you don't get the skills that you want. But keep in mind, if you have the available skill points for it, you will likely roll that high level skill the next time. So don't panic if you don't get the one that you want right now. Just make sure that you don't spend a lower amount of those skill points, thus eliminating your opportunity to get that in future upgrades. That does it for me. If you like what you saw, feel free to check me out live, Twitch TV/Game Prodigy. As always, until next time, keep making bad decisions. I will see you later. Adios.